The present moment is not about thinking, it is about being. In this video, I will talk about the quote and its interpretation, but I will also feature a few things you can do to improve your awareness of the present moment instead of thinking about the next. So enjoy the video. The present moment is not about thinking, it's about being. Tyce Chamberlain. When I came across this quote, I just was reminded by a lot of different things I know from my younger age, because not even 2 years ago, whenever I was hustling for my success and building whatever I do or did, I always forgot to enjoy the moment, always forgot to think about or being actually in that moment. I always was thinking about my next steps. It's kind of a thing in my talent structure. When I check back on the Strengths Finder, I linked that in one of my first videos, and it's about it's a talent analysis where you find out your 5 signature talents, and for me one of them is like futuristic, it's called. And it means you are, as a person, you're very interested in new things, you're very interested to keep up with time and development, especially in technology and stuff like that, and you always want to know the new stuff or want to be up to date. And it also says, this talent also says, you are interested in optimizing yourself, optimizing humanity, optimizing whatever. It depends on your interests. They are very, very individual. For me, my futuristic talent is that I'm always thinking about optimizing myself and optimizing my future. So whenever I did something in the past, I wasn't in that moment. I was always thinking about the next moment or the next year or even the next decade. So I was never in that moment. I just lived, or I experienced. And that's why this quote hooked me, because it says the present moment is not about thinking, it is about being. And when I understood that this is not about thinking, and if you're thinking you're not in that moment, it's just crazy to see myself sitting at the table or at the desk and working for something I will never achieve, because as soon as I am about to achieve it, I will still think about the next thing. So I'm never happy. I'm never reaching anything, because I always, when I come close to my goals, I always put them on the next level. Like, I need to grow, and if I'm not growing, I'm losing. And this is such a dangerous lifestyle, because I lost a lot of joy, I lost a lot of emotions and feelings and gifts in the present moment. I always, whenever I did something, whenever I went to events or networking events or whatever, I always was thinking about how can I use it for my next step? How can I create something better than my current version? And especially for your relationships or my relationships, that was quite toxic, because I stopped caring about the people in that moment, and I wanted to prepare everything to care in the future for them. And I met many people who are like this, or were like this. Some of them learned that the present moment is not about thinking about the next moment or the next decade or the next century. It's about being in that moment and feeling that moment and being aware in that moment about the moment itself. Because if you know the moment you're in at the moment, you can embrace this moment and you will feel alive instead of being just thinking of this moment. And that's basically it, because there's nothing more to say than be in that moment. There's nothing else. You only have this one moment, and if you think in this one moment you have, it's the only moment you ever experience, because if this moment slips, you will just live the next moment and then the next and the next, but you always have this only this moment. There will be no other moment in any time. There won't be a second moment at the same time. There won't be a future moment. There won't be a past moment. There's always only the one present moment. And if you use this moment to think about the future, or have anxiety about the future, or crying because of memories in the past, you let this one moment you have slip and unused. Because if you have only this one moment, why wouldn't you choose to be happy in this moment and feel this moment and be alive in this moment? And like Sadhguru said one time, he said, we think we are immortal. Yes, because we always have this moment, but at the same time we are scared of death. But death will never happen, because this moment is always this moment. And then it's the next moment, but the next moment is also this moment. It's only this moment you have right now. And what Sadhguru meant, or what I wanted to say with the quote of Sadhguru is, and someday you die. And then you will have spent so many moments, so many of these one moments you just have, with thinking or worrying or whatever, instead of living it and experience it as a gift. Because that's it. This moment is a gift. You only have this one moment, and you can do whatever you want with that moment. But it's not about thinking, it's about being in that one moment. So how can you manifest to be alive in this moment? Actually, it takes a little bit of practice. It's like always to practice awareness for the one moment. You have to be aware about what is a moment. And I can tell you what a moment is. A moment is something deeply individual. And you can find it by thinking about it, or meditating about it, or just letting the energy flow and tell you what the moment is, what a moment is for you. And then you will learn. And at this point, you have a chance to recognize or notice moments in your life. And then you just practice to be aware of the moment, to feel the energy in the moment, to feel for example, feel the sunlight on your skin, feel your feet touching your shoes, or your shirt over your shoulders, or a necklace you have, or your socks in your shoes or whatever. Just things, tiny little things that seem not to be special, but they are part of the moment right now, and they will reset your thinking, your overthinking, your worrying, your whatever, your wrath, your anger, whatever you have in that specific moment. It will reset, and you will come back in that moment, and you will be in that moment, because the separator of thinking about anything else, or just feeling something, or just be aware of something, will reset your mind and your consciousness to this very moment. And then you will be back in that moment, and you will be in that moment. You actually will be in that moment. And that's how you can practice. It's not easy to find these little things, but it's easier than you think, because it's just feeling different things throughout the day. For example, if you pick up a pen, feel the pen. What is the surface feeling like? And stuff like that. Or if you have paper, or your keyboard of your computer, or whatever, shadows because of the daylight, or even sunlight, or wind, or whatever. You can feel everything, you can be aware of everything. Just feel it instead of thinking about it. And that's pretty much the magic about the present moment. Is not about thinking, it is about being. So thank you very much. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to comment your thoughts about this quote, and feel free to send me your favorite quote, and I will interpret it as soon as I can. And yeah, leave a thumbs up. It only takes 2 seconds and it helps out a lot. And feel free to subscribe if you want more videos, or check out my lo-fi playlist. Like you heard this song in the background, it's also on that playlist. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.